We could put them right there. Okay. Right, today I'm going to be making one of these, which I've started, but I want to show you first cutting out and what you need. So for the head, whoops, it is amazing. Got a little bit of a dry skin on my finger somewhere, and it catches. Right, so there's the head. Oops, sorry. Get it all in so you can see. Head and hands. Obviously, you only want one head. This is 4-way stretch jersey fabric. I get mine on eBay. I will leave a link at the end of the video. Oh, I've got a stupid thing popped up on my screen. Away, please, thank you. Right, I will leave a link in the description at the end of the video for where I get these, this jersey from. Like I said, I get it on eBay, and you can buy it by the half yard. If you're not doing a lot, half yard will go a long way. But it's just, I think it's the smallest amount you can get, but it's not expensive for half a yard anyway. It really isn't. And as I say, you get loads out of it. So you need to cut 2 hands, 1 head, and sizes. Again, they're on the hands. Good Lord, woman. I don't know where the hard. There's a bit of dry skin somewhere, and it's catching. Right, the hands are 6.5 centimeters diameter, and the head I've done at 10 centimeters diameter, and it's really, that's it. I mean, you can see how much you need for one doll. That will do you, half a yard will do you loads. But I'll tell you what I did, and what I intend to do again this year is I want to make some more Christmas ones, Mother Christmas, Mrs. Claus, if you like. I did some a couple of years, 3 years back, and everybody loved them. I sent them out as gifts at the time, so everybody thought they were great, and they're really cute, and you can put them on. They're not heavy at all. The difference with these is I call them my Pomanda Pals. These smell absolutely gorgeous because I do put in them these things, Lenore Unstoppables, and I have done a lot of these this time. And I've still got some left. This is what I've got left from the first thing. I've still not emptied this. So it doesn't really cost that much to put these in them because this goes a long way. I mean, I've got 2, 3, 6, 9, 12. And I've sent about the same amount out. So about 20, 24 out of one of them. Not bad, is it? So, like I say, it goes a long way. So they're not very expensive to make. And any little bits of odds and sods of fabric that you've got, they don't take much fabric up at all either. So they're the head and hands, and then here are your parts. So you want 2 sleeves, they're 6 centimeters diameter. You want 2 feet, and they are 8 centimeters diameter. Then you want a mop cap. If you want to put a mop cap on, it's up to you. It's not essential, but I just think when you put in a hanger on like that, I think it's nicer to have that rather than just coming straight out of the hair. But again, that's just my preference. You don't have to. But the mop cap is 9 centimeters diameter. You just need one. And then you've got the skirt, which is 14 centimeters diameter. And I've used white, that grey board, 1 millimeter, and it's plenty thick enough, and it will, for a template. I've got loads of templates made for these, and they're nearly all white board, grey board. And then this one is 20 centimeters diameter. And my template for this, believe it or not, is a plastic picnic plate. You just bear with, I'll get it. This is what I've used for the body. It's they're not right good now. I mean, I've had them years. These have fallen into, but it's not dirty. That it's where the plastic coating sort of lifted bubble, because they've been in dishwasher that many times. I think it's lifted, took all topping off, you know, coating. But that's ideal for doing, what is it? I also use, I'll move that a minute. I also use an air erasable, a heat erasable pen on here, and you can see the red on the edge of that, just the line round here. That you can just put your run your iron over it, it'll go off. It won't be seen anyway because that's going to go into your seam. And you need just one of those, and one of those, one of everything except the hands, sleeves, and the feet. So once you've got it all cut out like so, then you want a really pretty lace. Right, these this is what I did last night. Now all the ones I've made up to yesterday have all been hand stitched. So that means the lace has been stitched on by hand, and you have to go around it twice because this is your lace. This is my lace that I've used on this one. It's really pretty. You don't want too big a lace, really. Otherwise, it's a little bit overpanned. This has got a little bit bigger lace on, but because it's sort of a fine-edged, I'll show you, because it's such of a fine-edged lace where you can sort of see through it, it's fine. But if you've got anything too broad and heavy, it won't look nice. So you've got to be a little bit picky. I found that if you get half-inch lace is more than adequate, but you do stitch it on twice. Now the first one you put it on, let me get me, put it in any kind of lace. I've used a fringed one on some as well. Pop her up there a minute. I've used this one, a fringed one on one. That is, this one's sold, but that is that one. And look how pretty that fringed edge looks. Really nice. So that one, and then this one I've used on here, and I'll just show you what I mean by it needs sewing twice. So I've got a little bit here that I can pull off. Oh, that's a rusty old nail pin. That's throwing away. Right. When you put the first one on, when you do the first stitching, you actually put it right sides together, and then you put it round the lace onto the actual fabric, like so. I've not got my pins here, but I'll just use a needle for a minute. So you do that very close to the edge, and this obviously where it's being gathered, I use a gathered lace. Where it's been gathered, the stitching. So when if you've got a stitch on the inside, the outside of that stitching, And then when you turn it over like that to the outside and top stitch it, it's the right way. So you've got to make sure your two right sides are together on your lace and your mock cap, and then you turn it over like that. And your second line of stitching goes on that little bit, so you're actually stitching that in the right position, and it's at the same time it's making that it won't fray. Is that making sense to you? I hope. But anyway, so that's how that works. And this particular one, I've managed to get my sewing machine and everything finally set up. So what I've done, there's the skirt, and it doesn't take much off the size of the skirt, as you can see there. So you're only losing about 1/4 of an inch by the time, but it just gives you that little bit of a nice tidy edge with 2 rows of stitching that will not come off. It won't pull, it won't fray. It's perfect. But you've just got to remember, you've got to put your lace goes on that way first, and then pop it over, and then excuse me, I'm prickling, just a second. And then you do a second row of stitching, and you get a nice neat edge, nice neat sewing. I think they look neater when they've been machine sewn, but I've not been able to get my machine set up until now. So last night I decided I'll get one all done, prepared I should say, and then I'll show you as I go along. So that's how you get all your bits and pieces stitched up. So now here I have my bits and pieces. I'll move these out of the way. And we have, bring them back. And we have these, and this is our hands. I put pins in just because I'm sticking them onto the body. So I've got my hands, and all I've done is close to the edge. This doesn't fray either. It's brilliant stuff. Close to the edge, I would say about 1/8 of an inch away. Just a running stitch all the way around, and stuff it. And what I use for stuffing is a cushion pad. They're cheap enough to buy. It's good enough for dolls. These, you've just got to bear in mind, these are not toys. Obviously, they are, you can put them in your wardrobe, you can sit them on a dressing table, make your room smell nice. They do make you, they do smell lovely. But obviously, because it's got the chemicals of the Unstoppables in, you can't let a child play with them. But so your body one, you're going to stitch all the way around there, making sure. Now this fabric here, you can't tell which is right side and wrong side, so in actual fact I don't think it really matters. But what you do is you stitch it again about 1/4 of an inch, because you're not actually stitching this twice in that direction. You need to give it a little bit more room, but just 1/4 of an inch, no more. Stitch round it all the way round, gather it up so that you've got it nice and even like that, and then you get your stuffing and you put a good handful in, but make it so that it's hollowed out in the middle. And then you want to put your stoppables in. You can put anything in these, and if you're going to use it for a pin cushion, instead of having obviously Unstoppables, put crushed walnut shell in, and in the middle, and then put more stuffing on top, seal it up, close it up, and that will make a fabulous pin cushion. And because you've got your if you've got your walnut shells in, it keeps your needle sharp. Just a little tip there. But I like these with the Unstoppables in. They are proving quite popular, and I thought maybe maybe you don't want to be buying, you know, these kind of things off me. They are for sale if you want them. Hi, Shelley. Welcome, Chuck. Well, this is my first time I've done one with the sewing, so I'm just going through how I make the Pomanda dolls, because they've become very popular, and I thought maybe, you know, if you're abroad and you don't want to be paying shipping, which I can understand, then, you know, you might want to make your own. You do exactly the same with the feet, with the hands and the feet, as you've done with the head and the body. So then you make sure that they're nicely tight and finished off. These are going to be stitched onto the body. So your skirt here is going to, on the closed side, you're going to put your skirt on that way. So obviously underneath it's nice and neat. Put your skirt on and just do that for the minute. And then these you're going to stitch on there like so together. And you do that first. Once you've done that, they're the first things that you put on after your skirt. So your skirt you're going to stitch round, and I did it a little bit different this last time. So if you've got your skirt on, pin it on, and then just do a little tiny slip stitch all the way around, so that your actual long part of your stitch is inside the body, and there's just pick a little bit of a stitch up on top. Do another long stitch, about 1/2 inch, all the way around, finish it off, push your needle through, and I will do this shortly. I will do this so you'll see. But you push your needle through there, pull it out here, snip it to the edge, and you've got a nice long edge. It's not going to come undone. So that's your skirt put together. But they really are very easy, very quick. As I say, I did these on sewing machine last night, and it took me about 1/2 an hour to after cutting out. It took me about 1/2 an hour to get them all put together with the lace on, ready for today to actually finish off. So they are great fun to make, but as I can see, you just got to be aware that they're not really made for children because of the contents, obviously. And plus the stuffing is a cushion pad rather than toy stuffing is very, very expensive. So when you're making something like this, it's not actually for a child. Don't spend a lot of money on stuffing when you can get a cushion pad for £3 or £4. In fact, I think I got 2 for £5 something from B&M. But I've just bought another lot, and I've not been able to get into town because Harry's not been very good on his legs, and I've not been very good with this hot weather. I went on to eBay and I got 4 for £7 something, free postage. So, you know, and because I do use a lot, I thought I might as well get them. So I bought 4 cushion pads for even less than what I paid for the pair of cushion pads that I bought off B&M. So there we go. You just shop around a little bit and you'll soon find, you know, your bits and pieces that you need. So we'll start with that. I'll get myself a nice needle. Make sure you get especially when you're sewing this, you don't want too thick of a needle, because it can be a little bit difficult to sew through if you've got a thick needle. Believe you me, I know this because I've slipped up a couple of times. I have got 1 or 2 thin, and that's a thicker one. You see, that one's not much good. I think that one will be all right. I think. Not sure now. I've said that. I've got some thinner ones. That's the thinner one, but it's a teeny weeny iron. I'm hopeless with that. Just a minute. I think that's a thinner one. That's it. So we'll do that. Make sure you've got a good strong cotton as well. I got this from eBay again. I just put in strong white. I also have strong black. You'll need black cotton as well. You'll need some little 4mm black beads for the eyes. And I put eyelashes on mine, and I was just going to show you which. Oh, there they are. No, they're not. Where have I put them? Oh, there they are. I put these eyelashes on mine. So if you want to put eyelashes on, you can. You don't have to. You can stitch eyelashes on if you prefer. And also a little pencil drawn smile. A little pencil drawn. You can't see her smiling, can you? You see a smile now, look. Get back there. I also put a little bead necklace on, and glasses are this. And I got this at a garden centre, fine silver wire. Not very expensive, about £2 or £3 it was, and it goes a hell of a long way. And I'll show you how to make your glasses as well. So for starters, I'll just, I'm working backwards here, look. Right, I'll put my skirt on. So I'm going to be struggling to get my needle threaded. I shouldn't be, but that's it. I've done it. Even though it's strong cotton, I still do it double. It's just added strength, and you don't see it that much, you know. So once you've got your cotton threaded, and I'm going to cut that long tail. I've got wrong scissors, they're not my sharp ones. Okie dokie. So where's that one to now? Right. So I'm going to just pin my skirt like that, and then I'm going to pop it over, and I'm going to start actually here in the actual base, like so. All right. And then I'm going to pick up a little tiny, you see how much there? Just a tiny little bit, about 1/8 of an inch stitch. Oops, a daisy. And pull that through. It gets caught on your lace, by the way. It can be a damn nuisance. Pull that through there, and then straight underneath that into the bottom, and about a 1/2 inch stitch that way. You just have to sort that out. It can be a bit of a nuisance, that, but it just catches it. Just making sure you've not left any big loops anywhere. And then again, another little stitch in the top like that, and straight below it a 1/2 inch long one there. Okay. Oh, right. Well, I usually do my lives on a Monday night, but I thought 1 or 2 people have said, why don't I do a live for the dolls? So I thought, oh, all right, then I will do. Now I've got my sewing machine fixed up. I can. It's not too big of a job, but if you've got to stitch everything by hand, like your lace and everything, to actually do a video, it's no, it's not very good. So then I've got a little tiny stitch there, and then a longer stitch into the body. All you're doing is really wanting to anchor that skirt down without too big of a show of but and then a teeny stitch. Oops, it is it there. But they're so pretty. They smell lovely, and in actual fact they make fabulous gifts, you know, for perhaps your mum or your grandma or somebody that likes to have nice smelly things in the drawer or in the wardrobe. These are perfect. And it was my daughter that I got inspiration from, because she said to me, I'm going to make everything, life easy for everybody now. She said to me, asked me if I got any little, these nylon mesh bags. And I said, yes. What do you want them for? And she said, I want to put some unstoppables in it and hang them in my wardrobe, pop them on hangers. And that's what she did. And I thought, that's a good idea. But then I had to think outside the box then and think, well, I bet they'd be nice in what, because I've done these, as I say, I've done these dolls before for different things. So I thought, I bet they'd be nice in one at dolls as well. Hence the reason we now have this Pomanda doll thing going along. And they are popular, they smell lovely, and yeah. So I thought, well, why not? We'll give it a bit of a whirl and see how we go. So this is just really, I mean, like I say, they don't want big stitches in the skirt. It just sits on there nicely and without being too obvious for your stitching. And even if you like don't get it, you know, like a dead circle round on outside, it doesn't matter, because nobody's going to see it as such. Because by the time you've got the head on, and you will, I'm sorry, you'll have to excuse my hands shaking. They're shaking terrible again this morning. Once you've got the head on and the hands, sleeves and things on, you know, you can't, you won't see them. Just don't make it too big. That's the only thing. And then, and as long as you keep them close together. I'm only picking like 3 or 4 little bits of cotton out of the skirt, out of the weave of the skirt, just as an anchor, really. So where have I got to go to right now? I'm just checking on how much further I have to go around. Sometimes they don't even meet, my stitches don't meet up, but other side. But because, as I said, because it's not really seen by anybody as such, just try not to get too much puckering. It doesn't matter if it does anyway, because it's going to gather. It's going to gather once you've got it all put together. Excuse me, all put together, it's fine. So we just want it to anchor it down. We've only got a couple more stitches to put in, and then we're done with the skirt. And this is the last stitch, I think. That there, I'll go halfway between that one and this one. And straight underneath that. There. So when I've got to the end of there, I'm going to, I'm hoping you can see what I'm doing. I can't zoom in any further. I'm just going to do a couple of little finishing off stitches. Like that. Number one. Like that. And then just push your needle straight in and out anywhere else. There you go. And your skirt's on.
I knocked my cup off and chipped it.
Oh dear. Daddy's broke his cup, Poppy. We'll have a Long face on him all day now. He's had that cup ages, years. We bought it in St Anton when we went over there. That was a long, long time ago. So now we have Elise. Elise, it don't matter, don't worry about it. I don't think anything, it's fine. So now we've got our skirt on. So now what we can do, we can either put the feet on or we can make the face up. So I'm going to this is another one of my little traits, is I tend to stick a pin in and pin them on so that I don't lose them. Same with the hands. I tend to pin them on as well, but I don't know where I put my pins for them, so I'll leave that. So right now, sleeves. I want to put the sleeves on the hands. So I put these on and I leave them on until I'm ready, and then when I take these off, I save them for next time. Saves you keep wasting paper. So sleeves on, so we're just going to the back side, the wrong side of your sleeve where it is, and you're just going to stitch that on round there like that and gather it up as you go along. And that's basically all you need to do for the hands. So that's his next job. Excuse me. Got a bit of a frog in my throat this morning for some reason. I don't know why. Let me just grab my sharp scissors. I ain't struggling when it ain't necessary. Sharp scissors, got ribbon on. Don't ever cut paper with your sharp scissors. It's either one or t'other. You can't have it both ways. So, right. Oh, heck. In the, oopsie daisy. Oh. What in? I've got needle threaders, but I shouldn't really need them. This is quite a big eye on this needle. I'm going to have to get it, aren't I? Where is it? Where's my box? Usually for these bigger ones, I don't need it, but clearly I do today. So, mind you, I've just as much of a struggle getting threader in before I get needle in. Cotton, I mean. No, you see, missed it again. Nope, missed it again. This is that's it, I've done it. This is as bad as trying to get cotton through, getting this darn thing through. Oh, dearie me. So, oh, it's done it again. Do you know the rubbish these things? It pulls blooming wire off the threader. That threader's had it now. I've got more, but what good is that? All right. So let me blimey. We'll get these put on next. So pop it on there. And I'm going to start in the actual lace at the edge there. And then I'm just going to do a teeny weeny stitch on the hand. And then go back in where that was and round the edge of the actual sleeve seam. When I said the seam, I mean where it's actually folded over, like I showed you when we were putting lace on. And another little stitch there. And then back in the same-ish place, around the edge again, because we are wanting to actually gather this up a little bit. so that it's not as gapey, as I call it. That's too big, Annie. What are you doing? I mean, I love sewing. I love hand sewing. I don't mind doing it by hand, but when you're doing something like this, it's just too long. It takes too long. So it's always better if you can do them on machine, just for time's sake. Back in on the same place. You've just got to be a little bit patient with the catching of the lace on your cotton. It's a blooming nuisance sometimes, but there's absolutely no rush to get, you've just got to be patient and take your time and just enjoy doing a little bit of hand sewing, really. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just a little hobby and a little project, so it's nice. And the fact that I'm picking the actual sleeve up and gathering that rather than it lifts, you see how it lifts it up a little bit, so that it gathers it a little bit round the actual cuff, shall we call it. And then, but you're trying not to let your stitches on the actual hand show, so you've got to be down at the side there where it will be covered by the lace, and that way everything stays neat looking. So, oh, thanks, Joe. Thank you. Oh, being waited on hand and foot here, peeps. He's a good lad, isn't he? What can I say? He's a good lad. And I think, yep, that is my last one. My last stitch. I think, yep. And can you see the difference between, where's my other one? That's how we started out, and that's how it finishes. So it's meant to be a little cuff. And just by running your cotton through the actual lace is the way it keeps it nice and gathered. So you're just picking a little bit of a stitch up on the hand and then going into the cuff again. Ouch. And then I'm going to do 2 little finishing up. Two tiny little stitches to finish it off, and then going in at the side through the hand and out the back. And sleeve number 1 is done. You're doing an album, wow. Well, it takes practice, Lisa. I were hopeless, absolutely hopeless with albums. I'm still not. But some of them turn out really nice that I've made, but some of them have been a bit iffy. Now then. So, next one. 1 down, 1 to go. So, cut my long tail off my knot. I don't like having a long tail on knot. Okay, so we're going to get into there. Ouch. Into there. Now sit that. Place it on your smack in the middle before you actually put your stitch in the hand, and then you know it's going to come above that stitch line. And then, whoops-a-daisy. What's it? Like I say, it can be a bit of a darn nuisance it catching onto your lace, but it does help gather it up if you do it this way. And I have done a lot, and I have found this is the best result for the cuffs. And I've done a lot first before I've even thought about doing it this way, because there's many a time I sat and thought, I wish that cuff had been more gathered, and then realised what I could have done when it's too late. But there we go. It's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. But just practice makes perfect. It's like everything else. You can start a job and just find different ways how it, you might have your own way of doing things, and that's fine. It's just a case of finding your own little routine, if you like. Because if you're doing a few, it does seem like a bit of a routine, but yeah, that's good. And just to make sure that it stays down in that. Ouch! This is why I don't like sewing by hand these days, because I keep injuring my fingers. Shocking. It really is. I'm just making sure I've not got any showing out back there. I keep stabbing my fingers. And I can assure you it hurts. It really, really. Hiya, Emma. How you doing, chick? I know I keep pricking fingers. It's awful. Yikes. But yeah, I'm always stabbing myself. Have I done it? No. I do. It's because my hand's shaking from time to time, and I'm resting. You can see I'm resting my hands on my desk. That's how I managed to. That's how I manage to keep my hands as still as possible. It doesn't always work, obviously, but clearly. That's a little bit of cotton that got missed. Look at it. I'm always sticking needle in my hand. This is one of the reasons I said to him, I'm going to have to get my sewing machines sort of set up, because it's getting painful. And I love sewing. I have always loved sewing. I made all my kids' clothes when they were babies, right from being born, including nappies. I made my own nappies for newborns, and made my own clothes, made clothes for people. I've made all sorts. I love sewing, even now. But I've really got to behave myself and stop buying fabric, because you would never believe fabric I've got. Do you know, when I saw that, Emma, I thought you were going to say I'd had another fall. Good Lord. Because he must be fed up of falling down. Bless him. How's he been since all that happened? Has he been all right? Got fully recovered from all his falls? You know, it's terrible, really, when you think about it, that as you get older, you do get more and more unsteady. Needle through and out anywhere. There you go, and it just takes all that out of the equation. Just be careful you don't nick your fabric, and we have 2 little sleeves. That's that done. Mop cap is your very last job. That is absolutely the very last job. So we've got our skirt on, we've got sleeves, we've got feet, but they're not stitched on yet. So next job I'm going to do, we're going to leave that to one side for a minute or 2. Put that in there. Ouch. Took a bit in me now. Put them on there a minute. Over there. Right, we're going to do the head. Oh, head. So like I said, the head, you can do this as close as 1/8 of an inch all the way round. It will not fray. It's brilliant stuff, this. It stretches that way. It stretches that way. And like I said, a 1/2 yard goes a heck of a long way. Been okay so far. Oh dear. Oh, I hope he's all right, Emma. Bless him. Oh, yeah, I know that's not nice. When I worked at sewing factory, I'm going back now, when I was 17, and I'd just not been left school very long, and I went to work in a sewing factory, and the girl that was sort of sat opposite me, they were like a row, 2 machines, and then like a thing down middle, a table down middle, all the way down. And she put hers, and the needle had stayed down, and her finger was still there, and it jammed, and they had to get a mechanic to come and release needle and then get it out of her finger. Oh, the poor girl. I mean, it's a wonder I didn't pass out. I mean, I'm not normally squeamish, but boy, that was awful. Absolutely awful. The poor girl, she must have been in absolute, was she were in agony? You could see she were. They ended up taking her to hospital. She had a tetanus and everything done. But, but no, I'm pretty good on my machine. My machine's, it's very forgiving. It's a good machine. It's actually an embroidery machine as well. I bought it brand new. In actual fact, I didn't realise when I was buying it, let me tell you, when I was ordering it, I actually bought it from America. I mean, how weird is that, stupid woman? But that's where it came from. And the only reason I realised that was when it was delivered, I had to pay £11 custom fees. I said, pardon? Custom fees. Oh, why custom? Where's it come from? America. That's what I mean about me. Talk about gormless, right? To try and find me beads out. They're under there tucked away. So, that way. Little beads. I've got 4mm, 5mm, and then these are shank backs. So they're half. These ones are half, like a button with a shank back. But if you're doing teddy bears, probably that would be. But I use these 4mm, plenty big enough. 2 of those is all you need. I did drop this a few weeks ago, and these tops are not very good at holding. Yeah, I think well, as I say, I was 17. I'm 70 now, so you know, do the math. But yeah, but I know my way around my sewing machine without any problems, so I'm all right with that. But Right, so starters, look at your shape, and you can just tease that into a nice roundish shape. And then I've got a fine line pen somewhere, but if I know where it were, I'd use it, but I haven't got a clue, so I'm using a Sharpie. But if you do it this way, be very careful how big you make your dots. So I just want to make my dots around about halfway down and about 1/2 inch across. Okay. It does help to have a little bit of a guide. So going from the back, actually I've got a very short needle, and this is not easily a short needle. That was lucky. So you go in and back through, and give it a little bit of a hollow and a little bit of a holding stitch. You see me hand shaking, peeps. See what I mean? So then back in, back in. Hey, I'm spot on today with this. Normally it takes me ages to get to all. It must be because you were like watching me. Usually all the way around, isn't it? Pop that on. And stop shaking, woman. Good Lord. Okay. Get all those twists out. That's it. Okay, give it a bit of a pull again. And another bit of a holding stitch. So you've got a nice little bit of an eye socket there. So then go across to the side, and let's find that one. Look at this. I can't believe how close I've got straight away. These you like your good omens. It is, it must be. And straight through again. Make a little bit of a, like a little socket dint. And a holding stitch. Whoops, you don't want a big stitch. Only a little one. That's it. And back through. And come on, where are you? Yep. And another little holding stitch, and that's your eyes done. They're not big jobs. I think the biggest, longest, or perhaps most tedious, I will call it. I've got thimbles, they just get on my nerves, Emma, to be honest. They're getting way. I know, old age it is, it's terrible. I mean, we weren't talking about that yesterday, me and Harry. Being getting old is not fun at all. It's not. So I'm just going to put a little bit of a finishing off stitch. Another one for good measure. Straight through and out somewhere else. There we go. If you give it a little bit of a tug, whoops a daisy, it hides itself. There you go, you see. Eyes in and done. So where's me? Oh, Can't see my needle cushion. La 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 la. Oh, it's there. I can't see for looking. Okay. Doll makeup. Okay, brushes. So she don't want a lot of makeup on, but you know that's not pulled through very well. It crosses out that. It'll not be seen anyway. So a little bit of this brownie colour, not too much. Get it into the socket and just work it round. Like that, round and round. Just a little bit of eyeshadow. And the same on this side. And make them a bit even. My devil. To do. So that's that one. And then this one. Just want a little bit of blush. Don't want much on. Now, so she's just got a little bit of a rosy cheeks, but she's not too, you know, and that's your makeup done. So that's that job. Get that out of the way. So that's that one and that one. Where's the rest of that one here? Oops, it is it. That's the mop cap for this one. I think. Sleeves. Body, arms, head. Have I lost a mop cap? For some reason, it sits there. That one's for this one. That's it. And the thing is, if you do cut a few out at a time, oh, have you naughty girl? Oh, wow. A smack on your hand, baby. Oh dear. I must admit now then, the day I passed my test, I had bought myself a little old banger, and it was delivered that day. The day that I bought it, it was delivered for me because I've obviously had no insurance and that. So we got all insurance sorted out while they were delivering it. And that particular night, me and my husband were going down to the club, and I did all driving. I was started doing all driving because I passed my test, and I didn't drink. I could drink Coca-Cola all night long and be happy. But anyway, halfway to the club, and it weren't far, and we're talking like less than 2 miles, but halfway to the club, I got pulled up. And I was mortified, and I burst into tears. I thought I'd done something wrong. He says, do you know you've got a light out, love, on your bike? And I said, well, I don't know why, because I'd checked them before we set off. And we'd checked lights before we set off, and it had gone between setting off and halfway there. So he says, it's okay, don't worry about it. It felt right sorry for me. We're lovely, we're a lovely Bobby. Anyway, he said, we'll give you an escort there and get it sorted out when you get back. But like Ernie said at the time, my husband, he said, it's probably just a loose wire. I'll have a look at it when we get parked up at club, you know. So, and when he said we're going to club, and he looked, and I says, oh, I don't drink. So, yeah, it was funny. Well, it wasn't funny at the time, but it was when I think back about it. First time I'd ever driven my own car after I passed my test, and I got pulled up with police for a light out. But as I say, it were. As long as I had it delivered today, it should be fine. We checked them before we come out. There were no lights missing. Oh dear, aren't we funny, us lot? You let things bother you so much, don't you? Really? Yeah, I mean, they usually are, especially with women, they usually pretty good. Like an actual fact, policeman laughed when I set off crying, and he says, "Don't worry," he says, "it's okay, you know, you're not in any big trouble." But oh dear me, I was just totally mortified. Bloody sods lot. First time I go out with my new car, well, not new, it were an old banger, mind. I think I only paid about £30 for it, but then it were a good bit of money, 30 quid. Went to Rolls Royce, man. It were a little old Escort I got. I think these days, so there's that many youngsters now on the road that do tend to go a little bit, shall we say, lead-shoed. Oh, yikes, £100 fine? Jesus, that's ridiculous for a first offence. That is crazy. Oh, Emma, I am sorry about that. That is bad. Mean buggers. £100. Bloody hell. And mind you, we've got done for parking in disabled parking bay because one of my badges had fell on the floor. My blue badge was still up on my windscreen, but my workshop license, what they call it, not a license, is it? It's anyway, you have to have a card. And it had fell on. I think as we shut door, wind might have wafted it off top. And yeah, I think we've had two £50 fines for that. One of them, which said we're in a car park, and it said that we were out at bay, disabled bay. We were in like a no man's land tap, orange things, but the lines were all over the place because somebody had at some stage had been redoing lines, but they'd done them not over proper ones. So we were actually in one set of lines, but out at other. So they did us, and that were at Retford. And I said, well, the lines we were on, it showed there were a white line at the other side of us. But it had been made into a part of that bay had been made into a no man, you know, that yellow thingy across. But it were a disabled bay, and we got fined. And there were loads of room, even because I were in a wheelchair, and my wheelchair went between two vehicles with loads of room to spare. But they still did us 100 quid, 50 quid. Twice we paid 50 quid for that. Once in Worksop, once in Retford. So I said, we're not doing it again, you know, right? So, right, so now where have we got to? Okay, so this one now. You have to do the hair. You need to do some hair. So I haven't actually got mine done yet, but these are a few left. a bloody moth. Oh, go on, every chuffing jump. Yes, so we've got, this is what you do for the hair. And I'll do a couple. Wrong drawer, Annie, what are you doing? Let me see. Oh, I have got some more of that. I'll do some more of that. They might actually just be enough to do for this. See, this is well done, can't you? It's done no end, this daughter. This, come here, my way. Where's me? There's me end. Okie dokie. So, right, hold your end, obviously, round your finger. 5, 6, 7. Do it as round as many times as you want. I've done 7. Cut that there. And then tie it up. Tie a little, as if you were doing a pom-pom, but you a double knot. And there you go. If these are too long, just chop them off. But you need a lot. And when I say a lot, I fill that. I shove that in there and I fill it. And I keep going. You might end up with some left over. If you don't want to do as many, don't do as many, but then make some more afterwards if you've not got enough. Okay, Cokey, Shelley, thanks for being with us, Doug, today. Take care. Please give us a thumbs up, Shelley, if you don't mind, on your way. Okay, Emma. Got to take his lordship to hospital in a bit. All right, darling. Take care anyway. You said you don't drive too fast. You don't need many of them, do you? Blimey. What a carry-on that is, eh? Oh, I think sometimes they're like littlers, aren't they? These these police officers. But yes, and also that's what you do for the actual curly hair. This is the fringe. This fits for the fringe. Round 2 fingers. And well, I don't know. I'm not even counting. I'm just doing what looks like probably 10, 15. And then whoops. I'm going to tie a knot. Don't need to cut them off this time because you're going to stretch them down like that front back. Just cut. There you go. And then just a bit long. You can straighten them off a bit better when you come to stick it on. But when you're going to stick it on, you're going to be putting it on about there. You can see. And then you can bring it down like that. And then you can just trim it along. Right, more or less on line with the eyes. But remember, it will pop up a little bit. So what I tend to do is I put hot glue there. And then I put a teeny little bit of hot glue here just to hold it over eyes a little bit so that it don't keep popping up. But that's your fringe. And you've just seen how to make the actual curls. I bet you are. I would be as well, Emma. I mean, I can't fault you, girl, because we're all as bad. So that's the head. That's out of the way. So I don't know whether there's much else I can show you really, other than sewing it all together. I thought I could do that. So I want my feet. Oh, I know what I haven't done. I've got cream. I don't want to put cream on. Do I? What colour? What colour have we got in spots? Got a nice green. Let's have a look. I've got some green. Oh, now then. Oh, that's blue. That's too wide anyway. I don't want too wide. Oh, there we go. That's the one. That's the one. So now we want our little bows to go on here. And if you've watched my videos before, you'll see how I make my bows. I've got my ribbon in my fingers on my left hand finger and thumb. Bring your ribbon forward. Hold it. Take it round the back. Make a little loop here and pull it through. And then just keeping hold of your middle bit. There we go. That's one. That's another. So bringing it forward, round your thumb, around the right, make a little loop, pull it through, and then just start tightening it up. Pulling them by holding onto your middle bit. Whatever you do, don't excuse me, don't ever let go of your middle bit. You're only holding it lightly, but you're not letting go of it, otherwise you'll pull your ribbons back out again, and then you've got to start again. So that's that. So there we go. And we've got two little pretty bows that we're going to put on our booties, that we're not putting them on until they've actually been stitched on. Then you can guarantee you're putting them in the right place. You stick them on first and then sew it cockeyed. You've got to take them off again. And when you use it hot glue, you don't want to be doing that, do you? Do you now? Right. That in the bin. Okay, mop cap out the way. Oh, also, while you've got this out, this is going to be the loop for the hat. So just have a look, see how long you might want your loop, depending on where you're hanging it, really. I've got to allow for about 1/2 inch there, and I think that's probably plenty big enough. Do you? I do. So I'm just going to trot off there. And I'll just pop it down there for now. Put that there, then I know where I put them. They're over there. I'll put my ribbon away now. I think. Put that back in there out of the way. Okay, right, we'll stitch these on. So I'm looking at my skirt. Now, usually, there seems to always be one that's a little bit further away, that one. So I'm going to go from here then, because they look pretty even, don't they? Yeah, they look pretty even either side. So we're going here. We're going to stitch these on here, there and there. So I need my little needle again. I don't know, that's not good. I'm going to make it. I do tend to be a little bit wasteful with cotton, but to be honest, it's pennies, isn't it? So But I did bust me, what is it, threader. Oh, I think there's another one in here. Oh, I thought there were. I could have swore there were. Oh, darn it, there isn't. I have got them. I've got loads somewhere. I'm going to my sewing table a minute. Come out wherever you are. I've got this thing. It's weird, actually, this, but I've never seen one like this before. So, you push it in, put that through the eye of the needle. To me, that's just as difficult, putting that over eye needle, especially when your hands shake. Oh, blimey. I can't. Oh, God. Oh. I just don't find these easy to use at all. I'm hopeless with it, if I'm honest. I am. I just don't. I just can't get the hang of it at all with this. See, you can't do it that way. Oh, we'll have to persevere and do it right way. I've done it. I tell you, I used to be able to use them, but I've just lost the knack, I think. I thought I'd done it then. That's it, I've done it. Chop me long tail off. Right, I'm going to pop that on there. I'm going to pop that one on there, and I'm going to start at the bottom underneath, and I'm going to start by going in the foot. In the foot. Am I? No, I'm not. I'm going to go underneath, but I'm going in the actual base, the bottom. That's it. And then in the foot. And then in the bottom, and take it round a little bit further to there. And you're working your way around a little bit in the foot, like that. Back in the bottom, and take it a bit further round. Okay, and then again in the foot. Oops. Back in the bottom, same place, but taking it further round. And just keep working your way around the foot. Foot first. Back in the bottom. In the foot. And back in the bottom. As long as you remember to keep it underneath the foot when you're going in the bottom, it won't show you stitches. And that's what you're actually aiming for. So then I'm going to do one more. in the foot, and then back into the bottom. There we go. And then I'm just going to do a couple of little finishing off stitches, one at bottom, one in the foot, and then finish off with a bit of a couple of them. Okay, push your needle in, come out the end at somewhere in the foot, one foot on. Then whoop. Press it on. It's a good job Poppy's not here. She'd have been chasing that all right. Oh dear. So here we go again. Next to it. I'm going to try and manage with this bit that's in because I ain't struggling with that there again. So working from the bottom and then in the bottom, in the foot, in the bottom, and go round. The only thing is with this job is that you've got the other foot in your way a little bit. So you've got to take that into account. It doesn't take you long to get away from it though, that's the thing. Once you've gotten that first bit done, you can get around it. Ouch. Ouchie, ouchie. And last one. In the bottom. Ouch. Straight out. And there we are, that's your feet on. Now, the reason I like to get the feet on is then I know exactly which way to put your face. Right. And I'm going to say this because this is how dippy I am. Make sure you've got your face on right way, because I've done that before now and thought, why have I put that one up? Blushes at top. I think blushes should be that way. So yeah, just be careful as you are, putting your head on, and you want your head on really before your sleeves. And I usually will put my hair on before I stitch the head on. So this is at the point where I'm going to at least stop where I am with that. Because you've seen basically once you've got your feet on, you can put your head on, and then your hands just want to be gone, and all you're doing is stitching them at the back, from the back again to there, exactly the same way as we've done feet, wherever feet have gone to. There, look. So you're just going round them again, but keeping your stitches out of sight. And then with your feet, all you need to do with those now to finish those off is hot glue, teeny weeny bit, and just put your little bows on your feet. And then that's your feet done. That's what your two bows are for. And when you're doing your hair, get your fringe on, get a couple of pieces of your curly on. if you're doing curly. And then before you put any more hair on, get your ribbon and a little bit of hot glue, and you're just going to glue top. You're just going to glue that about there, so it's really just behind the fringe, so that when you put your mop cap on, and only a little bit, you know, so this comes up that way from the top, and then when you come to put your mop cap on, you just put a little tiny, see where it comes to on your head, and you're going to put a little tiny nick, and I mean a tiny nick in that, and with a pair of tweezers you're going to thread that, because that's already in a loop. Pair of tweezers, you're going to thread that through the hole, and it's finished. Your doll's finished. So they don't really take very long. I mean, it's what I've been on now. Probably, how long have I been on? An hour and a half, with a lot of gabbing in between and a lot of explaining. So, you know, it bit time you've done your sewing round with you, if you're using a sewing machine, you're going to make one of these within an hour and a half, 2 hours, from start to finish. You know, but don't forget, make your templates out of something that you can reuse. If you do them in paper, now here's a suggestion that I've done in the past for making patterns, is if you do them on paper and then laminate your paper before you cut them out, obviously, and therefore you've got a waterproof pattern, and you can just punch a little single hole in it and thread some ribbon or something through to keep all your pieces together. So that's one way of having a pattern reusable and easy to store. So I hope that's been useful for you, and I'd love to see if anybody does have a go. I'd love to see what you've made. You know, the people's interpretation, you might make different changes to it. I'll show you the glasses, I think, because I've not shown that bit, and that is one of the fiddlier bits. But what I do, as I say, I've got this it's thin wire, and I hate it when that happens. They get me, because you've got to curl it around there to stop it all coming undone. So you can straighten it. You can straighten it up when it's been twirled round, like so. You want it nice and straight. Then I get this, and I leave myself about 1.5 inches and go around. Okay, and squeeze it tight, and then do another one, just leaving a little gap between, and my other scissors are not my sharpest, like that. So you've got your glasses made, and you just carefully bend them that way. So we have a little pair of spectacles. Oh, we did have. I don't know where they've gone. Oh, I can see it. I got them. Oh, I thought I had come back. Is it gone? They're alive. So, right, you've got your glasses. Now, a good way to see if they're about right is when you've got them like this, get your doll head and just place them wrong way over, and they're perfect. And then you just carefully, hey, all right, you just push them through, push it in, carefully. If you find they're a little bit long and won't go much further, just shorten them a little bit. I mean, some of them, most of mine, the actual wire goes in nearly outside the eye, but it just, you know, it's just for decoration. It's nothing, anything spectacular. Oh, the other thing as well is, of course, your eyelashes. Let me get my eyelashes. I'll do this because this is one of the little jobs that can be done more or less straight away. I got mine from a pound shop, and you can see they're just little ones, and one, put them on a surface where you can see them, because I've been doing hunting around. I've got them there, look. Right. Now then, I've tried all different kinds of ways to get these damn things on and make them stay on, and then they keep coming off while I'm pulling my tweezers away. Well, I've discovered a different way, and I'm going to show you, if I can, if this will. I've got a fine point on this. Let me just see if I can. Yeah. So put that back there. With my tweezers, why not? I'm going to got a bit of glue on here, and I'm going to just pop that there, like that. Wipe my tweezers off, pick my eyelashes up, and make sure they are curved the correct way. And then I'm going to push them in and let go. Again, little bits of glue. I need enough on to make them stick. I've been trying to, I'll tell you what I have been doing, what I've been struggling. I've been trying to use super glue. And they're a nightmare with super glue. Don't even try. Because, oh, dearie me, I was tearing my hair out in finish. A minute, Fabe. Oh, that's spun round again. You see, this is the only thing. But if they've got glue on first, there we go. Not bad. Move that over a bit that way. Oh no, not that way. No. There we are. Now, if I just leave that alone, they will dry and my glasses will go on, and that'll be that. And all I've got to do then is paint a little smiley face on. But I'm going to leave those now. I'm not going to put any. I'm not going to put any glasses on that until I've done putting my hair on it. I'm coming. All right. I'm going to put my hair on her. And hello, everybody. We have trouble, haven't we? Are you buttering me up? Oh, thank you, baby. You're a good girl. She snuggled right up to me last night, didn't you? So, like I say, I mean, they really are very easy to make. Probably a little bit fiddly for some. I enjoy making them. If you enjoy sewing, you'll enjoy making them. And they're not expensive to make. Any little bit, any old shirt, blouse, you know, that you can cut up. And they don't take that much fabric. And a bit of lace. I mean, I've got all sorts of different frilly lace. I think you need a frilly lace, which I think you do. But, oh, excuse me, let me have a drink of my cold coffee that he made me ages ago. Oh, it's cold. But as I say, it's just a nice little pastime, really. And mop cap, all I do with that is the only thing that's holding the mop cap on, really, apart from that little bit of glue that you put underneath is that your ribbon, your loop on the head is the only thing that holds it on. And then you just pop if you've got a little flower of sorts, just pop it inside, a bit of glue, hot glue will do, you know, under a hat, and I think they're quite cute. Oh, and then the beaded necklace, I've got some, they're like rice beads. They're cheap. I got them from China, I think, most of mine. I don't know whether you can get them on eBay. I've not looked. And I've had mine a long while. But they're very inexpensive. I've got all different colours, and I just get a needle with some white thread on, a little bit more thread than that, and I again doubled a bit more thread than that. Let me have a look what's on that one. Yeah, that's about right. Something like that, double thread, and tie a knot in it. I don't think it would stop them going through anyway, but anyway, just thread them on, hold in one end, thread your beads on. And then, but you can't do this until you've actually got the head on, because once you've got the beads on there, you need to put it round the neck, make sure all your beads are together at that end at front, and then tie a knot here at the back that actually goes up to the beads, so that you've not got a gap in your, in your cotton, in between your beads, and she's finished. And they look really nice. And as I say, my daughter's put one of hers in the bathroom. She's got one. I give her 3. She's got one in a bathroom, one in a bedroom, and one in a wardrobe. But my wardrobe smells lovely. But I thought, well, you've also got other ones in. And she says, no, I actually put them little bags I gave her. She's put them in boys' wardrobes. I thought, I bet they're happy, smelling all flowery. Oh, dearie me, I can't imagine. But then again, they both got girlfriends, so I just thought it was funny she put them in boys' bedrooms. I don't know. And they're not boys anymore. They both, well, Adam's a man, adult now, and Tom's not far behind him. He's going into 6th form when they go back in September, bless him. He's going on to university, he hopes. And he wants to be a dentist, bless him. So I think it's just such an odd profession when at that age. You know what I mean? You think about that when you're about 30 or 25. You know, oh, I'm going to be a dentist. Not at 16, but times change, don't they? Like us oldies. And my new toy, which I was delighted with, is my wax stamp, and it's a paw like my logo on my stamp for the cards. So it's a paw. It's not got any writing on it, it's just a paw. But I just thought it was lovely. And where's the one I did one and I actually cut it out. It's vanished. I don't know where I put that now. Probably even got lost on the floor somewhere, and because we have Popsy Doodle Doo jumping up and down on here. That's not it, is it? No, it's disappeared. I cut one out. I just stamped it out and cut it out. I got some, oh yeah, I tell you what I did do. Talk about stupid. This is me stupid. Hairbrain. Or what? I've got this. This is me, obviously, for melting wax. No brainer, isn't it, really? I put my thing in, lit a little tea, not tea light, but a little candle, teeny candle, and I melted it all down, and I poured it onto some paper and I stamped it with my doobly-doo, and then I picked it up with that pot. Oh my God, I burnt myself. And it was hot for ages. And I'm saying it was burning hot for ages. What a stupid thing to do. Just don't do it. You know, you just don't, do you? Crazy lady. Hiya, Ian, how you doing, chick? Just doing a tutorial on making Pomanda dolls. Just in case you might want to make one in your spare time. Hope you're all right, Chuck. It's all is well here. It's a bit cooler now, thank goodness. I can cope with it. It's nice weather. It's sort of a little bit on the cloudy side, but it's warm without being, you know, scorching. I don't do well in hot weather. I don't. So I had just done a little demonstration, that were all. It's weren't such a little one, actually. It took an hour and a half, but people have enjoyed it, otherwise they wouldn't be still on. So, and I don't really know what else to talk to you about now. Done all that. And, oh, I finished me. That's my gold one. That's my, I like the silver one, but I thought I'd like the gold one better. But they're my teddies. Not done. I like the silver one better than the gold. So I've done 4 now. I've done a lilac, a pink, a gold and a silver. And I've got 2 more on the way, still waiting. So a what down? Oh, a cool down. I wonder what a couple were. Old lady syndrome. It is. I don't do well in the really hot weather at all. It's just nearly impossible to breathe, really. And I have got fans on blowing, and the electric and gas has gone up. You know, you're frightened of using too much power these days because they're doubling your bills, and they were blooming high enough before. I've never, and up until I had that last dispute with him, before any of the risers were in, I got a summer bill for £600. I've never had a summer bill for 600. I've never had one over 400 for a summer. But anyway, I ended up having to pay it because they sent me another one that they said weren't estimated. It was a red one, so, you know, it had been meter reading one. So I thought, well, I've not got much choice and I've got to pay it. And then we've just had another one this month. And that's another one, nearly £700. It's ridiculous. Never ever had bills that size. So they really have gone up with a wallop. You know, they're not considering, you know, pensioners and what have you, or even people that are, you know, on low incomes. So I don't know. Menopausal woman, are you really? Oh, bless you. No, I think it just is very oppressive, isn't it? It's, no, it's just not nice. If you're into it, I mean, my daughter's just been on holiday while it was full scorchio weather, and she's got a lovely tan, and they've had a really good time. They've only been to Cornwall, but, you know, I mean, it's nice down there. And they've had a really good holiday. She messaged me. She says, "How are you coping, Mum, with weather?" And I'm not very well. Not very well, because in actual fact, we had this bit of a change round in here to get my sewing machine set up. And that was last week when it was really hot, and it was, it weren't as hot, but it was hot enough. I think it were in 30s still. And it was just too hot for me. It nearly finished me, I think. Ruddy weather. I ate it altogether. When it's ridiculous hot. I just don't like hot weather anymore. I used to love it. I mean, I used to lay out in it and get a suntan and all that, but not anymore. Can't do it. I have fans on go, but it's costing money to run fans. I've got a little one in here, one that clips onto. It's biggish. Well, it's a 9-inch, I think, 9-inch fan. Clips onto a cabinet, and I've got a big one that I have in lounge, and I'll bring it in here when I need it. You don't have much choice, do you, really, if you're not well with it? But no, not good at all. I prefer snow, to be fair. If I'm honest, I don't mind cold weather. I don't mind snow, providing kids in the neighbourhood don't go cobbing snowballs at my windows every turn and corner, because they're little buggers, and they do, and we've thought a time or two they're going to put a window through before they've done. And you go out and tell them, yeah, they just think they're clever, and they're not. But there we go. Anyway, peeps, it's 2:00, and I want to get on with other things a bit now. So thank you for being with me all this time. Leave us a thumbs up if you don't mind on your way out, and hopefully I'll see you all again next time. So take care, everybody. Thanks for coming. Love you all. Bye bye for now.